Tonight is Wednesday night skill building, and I'm Debbie Barnett. So, welcome, and I'm so glad that you are here joining in tonight. I do want to say that I had a couple of emails from people that did ask me if I could slow down a little bit for them, those that are newer, and I will definitely do my best to do that for the newer players and make sure that I point out the hands that we're working on and all. I do try to do that, but sometimes, I get pretty wrapped up in things. And of course, there are parts of the game that we don't have to slow down for. So we'll go through all of that, make sure everybody is comfortable with the whole protocol here. Bunny from YouTube says she's been playing a couple of months, pretty newbie. So welcome, Bunny. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. And feel free if you have, and I know I do get questions about, like Sunday night, we were playing the Siamese. I don't know if anybody was here Sunday night, but that was a lot of fun. And I was explaining about my fresh tile strategy. And it took a little while for the few that wanted me to explain it to get it. But, if I say something and you're not sure about it, just let me know in chat. I definitely want you guys to understand these concepts. And I do want to say that there are many instructors out there. We all teach very differently. We have different styles. It doesn't mean that one's better than the other. You could learn from a few different instructors and take what you like the most from them. So we have a lot to learn from everybody out there in our community and the other wonderful instructors that are dedicating their time to the Mahjong community. So I thank them for that, of course. And Arlene from YouTube is joining us from Cape Cod. And also, by the way, I would love to have you, because I'm going to share a story with you. I'd love to have you put where you're watching from. And I'm going to tell you a story and why I think it's really cool that I need to make sure that I put every week. I need to make sure I ask this question. So Hernando, Camden County, New Jersey, Hot Springs, Arkansas, Maryland, Hernando, Florida. Yep. Torrance, California. Oh, wow. We've got Englewood, Florida, Boston, Lake Forest, Charleston, South Carolina, Venice. And Bunny said she was on the Siamese Mah Jongg. She said, you play well, but it was over my head. It's a lot to keep track of. All right, we've got New Mexico. We've got Ossining, New York. People watching from all over. Okay, so here's the story. And somebody who's watching is going to really understand why I want to share this story. So I used to, when I started this, I always started out, where are you watching from? And that's the first thing I did, and everybody would put where they were watching from. Well, last week when we were traveling and we were visiting Julie and Philippe, the creators of I Love Maj, and we were they were my guests on the show. And I mentioned that we were visiting them in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Well, there's somebody on here tonight who has been coming pretty regularly to my live streams and found out that I was only 40 minutes away from her. So the connection was made. And before you know it, my friend, my dear friend, now I have to say, because now that we've met, I'm going to even add that word dear, Shelley Bunger, threw together, of course, she asked if it was okay first, threw together a bunch of ladies to come, and she invited me to her home, and we had a full afternoon of Mahjong fun, and it was a blast. So I do want, I love to know where you guys are because it's amazing how, this online world has connected us all. But I especially have to remember that when I'm traveling to ask this question, because that, if I had not mentioned Hot Springs, Arkansas, which is just such a beautiful area, by the way, I would not have met Shelley in person. So, and I will not share your pajama story, Shelley. I promise. Okay, I won't. I'll cut that out of the video if you want me to. Um, anyway, Rhode Island in the summer for you, Agnes. Wow, and Venice, of course, from Phyllis from Venice and Charleston, South Carolina. Wow, we've got people all over New Hampshire. Yeah, this is fabulous. So here we are at ilovemahj.com, where I play every Wednesday and now on Sunday nights for the Siamese Mahjong. I love this platform. It's very intuitive. It really does mimic as much as you can mimic live in-person play on a website platform. They have done a wonderful job with this site. A couple of the things I like the most, and I do encourage everybody to try this site out if you haven't. Under my video descriptions, if you go to MahjCon YouTube channel, every single video has an I Love Maj link with my affiliate code linked into it. So they give you one more week rather than two. You'll get 3 weeks. Try it out. If you're new to the game, especially, this is the greatest place to help you strengthen your skills, help you learn the card, make your hand. You just can go through every hand on the card. Charleston practice, you could practice the Charleston and you can re-practice it with the same tiles to see if you get a different outcome. What hand is this is all about recognizing what your opponents are playing. That's a very important part of the game. When you're a beginner, you aren't paying too much attention to any of that. So this is a good place to come in and feel comfortable doing that. And then there are some fun ones that are more like games, Mahjong and Heavenly Hands, to be able to identify hands. Mahjong's like Wordle, and Heavenly Hands is if you were dealt in a heavenly hand right from the get-go and you were East and lucky enough to get a heavenly hand, which is having Mahjong after the deal, can you recognize that and put those tiles in the order of the hand? Please try this out. I encourage you to do so. If you have any problems getting on YouTube and finding the link, you can email me at debbie@mahjcon.com, and that's DEBBIE at MahjCon.com. I'll put that in the chat right now, so you'll have it, and I'll put it in YouTube as well. We've got a Sun City, Kings Point, and Raleigh, North Carolina. Wow. Okay, let me put this in YouTube. Yeah, and just feel free, if you need any help navigating the site, please feel free to, because after you are playing in the exercise room, you definitely want to play against the bots, and this is where it all happens. Just for fun, enable practice mode will give you hand suggestions, and this is just fun play. They don't record any of your wins or losses. So that's where you want to hang out if you're new until you feel comfortable. Then go to official game, which is where I like to play. And I am going to play against the intermediate bots. So level 1 is beginner bots, level 2 intermediate, level 3 advanced. And if you're very new, play standard and start out with that until you start feeling really good in learning and understanding the card. Then you can move up. Standard will help you Maj more because they're beginner level bots. As you get into level 2, they get a little bit more advanced. I did, I've been saying every week these intermediate bots are pretty tough. And I asked Julie and Philippe, I said, is it my imagination? They seem as tough as the advanced bots. And Philippe said, well, to be honest, the only real difference is that the advanced bots have the ability to call another player's hand dead. So that's all built into their intelligence, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's so amazing. But certainly I do not need to, play the advanced and, I don't want to make a mistake and be called dead on the live stream. You guys can let me know in chat if I'm dead. But we'll just leave it there at intermediate level. And I'm going to go ahead and launch the game. And I certainly hope that you can hear the discards, because on Sunday night, we had a little bit of a challenge with that. Now, when you play, it's always going to pop up in here and ask you if you want to receive invites to live games. Just say no. You could do it when you're comfortable to play with other people. That somebody invites you, you'll get put into their table and play against a live person that's playing online. Certainly, you could try it. Tonight, I always choose no, because I don't want to get bumped out of what we're doing here and into the game room. And here is the main, hold on one second. I got somebody that just came into the waiting room. I'm going to be playing all my roles tonight because my husband's not here. Here is where you want to make sure you have the right card pick. You can leave the timer off, which I do on Wednesday night, so I don't have any interruption with the timer and having to remember to pause it. This is how long it takes you to decide on a discard. You want to get to 4 seconds if you can, and you can do that, especially depending on what phase of the game you're in. And I'll be talking about that throughout as well. Start out with 10 and then work your way down. If you run out of time, there's a little pause button there. The 2 vertical lines, just like the pause button on, I was going to say a DVD player. Oh my God, I'm dating myself here. Like on TV when you're watching your shows and if you record them especially. And, oh, we've got a Beaver Creek, Ohio, too, in Indiana. Did I already say that? I don't think so. But if I did, hello. So I'm going to leave it off. And if you want to change the level of bots, you could do that right here. I'm not going to. And there's also different types of tiles you can play with that are very different. The Mah Jongg line has a very different look to their tile. They're beautiful, but if you want to come in and try them, you could do that. And then I use the classic tile, but they also have a large print tile. So if you're sight impaired in any way, this would be the best choice, large print. All right, here we go. We're going to start this game up. Now, can you hear that? Did you hear it say first, Charleston?
No.
You didn't hear that either. Well, that's interesting because it is loud on my end. Not 100% sure if I even know where I would go to fix that, because I can hear it and I don't know why you guys can't hear it on your end. Oh my goodness. I thought I had it all worked out. Hold on a second, you guys. Let me just see if I can see anything else that's preventing. I don't see. Okay, so here's the deal. Hopefully you're going to be watching the screen and it's not going to be as important to hear them speaking. And you could also see in the middle of the screen, it tells us what we're on. I'll repeat what we're doing as well. I don't know. I added this headset and now I cannot get my sound to work. Okay, we'll deal with it tonight. I sort by Sue. It organizes the tiles initially into just a clean order. They don't stay this way at all for very long. And then I like to work off of my multiples. And I do have a pair of flowers, which is nice. I do not pass flowers during the Charleston. Couple of reasons why. I have no idea if I'm going to use a hand that has flowers in it at this point. And I would hate to give them up and then something work out for a hand that I need flowers. So I do have somebody who has their audio on, and I'm trying to see who it is. So hold on one second. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I got it. All right. Yeah, and number two, flowers are giving a gift to your opponent. There are only 8 flowers, and many of the hands need either a pair, a Kong, and even there are 2 quint hands with flowers. So if somebody has a flower to start, or even 2 to start, and you give them another one, let me tell you, you really are giving them a nice gift. So avoid passing flowers during the Charleston. If you get stuck having to, because your hand built up beautifully and you're not using them, okay, don't beat yourself up over it. But it's a little more advanced to be able to control not passing them. And there are ways to not pass flowers. There are also ways to not pass a pair, but that takes a little bit of practice. So if the situation comes up while I'm playing, I will bring it up for sure. Okay, so I've got a pair of 2s and a pair of 8 BAMs. And of course, 2s and 8s are in the category 2, 4, 6, 8. It could be, I never get the multiplication line 4 never comes in with the multiples in the right areas, but it could be something in 2, 4, 6, 8, but it'll definitely potentially limit my use of the flowers unless I look at the concealed bottom hand, which would be lovely if that came in, because I do have this much right now toward that bottom concealed hand. So I can certainly keep an eye on that. What else could I do? I've got like numbers going on with 8s right now. And let's see about anything in the consecutive run that I might want to keep. So when I look at runs, I look at, it's nice if you start out with a middle number between 1 and 9, or close to the middle between 1 and 9, because then you could save things around it. When you start at 9, you can only go 9 down. But with the 7s and 8s, I do have a little bit of run going on here. And I do have a 6, which potentially could be a part of the 2, 4, 6, 8 category. Just know I am not picking a hand right now. I'm collecting tiles. I'm gathering tiles in categories. I'm gathering a little 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm gathering a little like numbers with 8s. I'm gathering a little bit with some run possibilities in 7, 8, and 9. So if I want to keep all of that, excuse me, and maybe I won't keep that 6 right now, because there is a hand that I could be looking at in the 2, 4, 6, 8, but it would not include the flowers at all. Not so sure I want to keep it right now. Let me just think about it. But right now, I'm going to get rid of the 1 dot and the 1 BAM. And let me think this through a little bit. So 7, 8. 6, yeah. I don't want to get rid of that because of the potential 2, 4, 6, 8. I think the 6 is the one I'm going to do, or actually, maybe I'll do the 7. Maybe I'll do the 7. If it were a 7 dot, I would keep it for 7 dot, 8 bam, and 9 crack. Or if it was a 7 crack, I could do it with the 7 crack, 8, 9. That's a mixed suit run, third line down on the right side of consecutive run. So I think I'm going to keep that 6, and I'm going to do the 7. I'm going to do the 7. All right. Now, a lot of times people will say to me, oh, aren't you afraid to pass like numbers? Aren't you afraid to pass the 1s and 7s? It's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. You know what? I do have some firm rules. Don't pass flowers. Don't pass pairs. Try not to pass an east and a west or a north and a south together. But when it comes to every other tile, I don't know if Wes is playing that category, those numbers, those suits, and I want to build my hand. So, okay, Wes, I hope if this makes you happy. How many times do you pass when you're in person and you say, good pass, and they say, yeah, right, if I were going that way, you know. So I think I'm going to do that right now. I know there's other things that I could have done here. Oh, so now I have a 3 dot, a 3 bam, and a green. Not great. Nothing that's going to, I know I don't want the 3s, but let's see. I really would love to get more tiles in that right there. Oh, 2, 4. Yeah, I can't keep everything, and I'm not so sure that the green is going to do me any good right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Nope, not keeping any of that. So I got another 9. The 4. That was the tile I was keeping. I mean, the 6 I was keeping for this potential hand, but it doesn't include the flowers. Second hand down under 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 and 4 dot, 4 and 6 crack, 8 bam. Now, you might be saying to yourself, wait a minute, you don't have any 4 dots. Because I hear that from beginners all the time. You need 3, 4 dots. You need, well, in this game, you need to imagine what the hand is going to be. You can't go by what you have already in your hand solely. So that would not include flowers, but that's the making of a hand there. And now I've got 3 like numbers. I've got a lot going on with 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 right there. I'm not going to be able to keep everything. I'm really going to have a little bit of a challenge, especially if by any chance I want to save that 8 right there. But this is a first left. Maybe I'll keep this 7, 8, 9. Mixed suit run. Third hand down under consecutive run. And if I keep that, then I can't go for that second line under 2, 4, 6, 8. I can't keep that in mind because I want to keep the 8. So that would be, I have to break this up and pass one of these here. So I guess I'll pass out the 4. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it back. I mean, it's going to be a little challenge, but let's see what happens. I'll do that instead of doing the blind pass. This way I can maximize what I get. All right, so I got an 8. So that hand The 4 dots are the bottom concealed 2, 4, 6, 8 hand is right here. And yes, the 4s are a pair, so I have to worry about that for sure. But I've got the last 2 pairs of 8s, which are really challenging. Hopefully I'll get it in. Now, I do not, some people say, oh, I don't ever play a concealed hand. I don't play singles and pairs. Well, if you play a concealed hand, you can always switch out to something else. You can always switch out to something else. Like, for instance, it could be like numbers with 8s if that hand doesn't work. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that you could do. I got another 7 crack. So now I'm in a real pickle because let's put this over here. 7, 8. Come on, Debbie, your mouse can work. And 9. Now that's the mixed suit run line 3 under consecutive run on the right side. Now, if I were to be a smarter player, I'd be choosing the easier hand. Well, this is the easier hand because I already have my pair of flowers and everything else I can use with jokers or more of the natural tiles, right? So that is the smarter choice. I could keep the 8 for like numbers right now. And I do have to continue the Charleston. So just because I got in that extra 7 crack, it changed every single thing that I'm thinking about. I would love to keep the 6 because I have 6 crack, 7 crack, 8 crack. And that's the same suit run, which is beautiful. But if I continue the Charleston, I'd have to pass a pair, and I'm not passing a pair. So, you know, this is one of those situations. It's just not necessary to pass a pair. Maybe I'll get back that 6 at some point again. I got it back once, maybe, or no, did I? I never let it go, I don't think, or did I? I might have. But anyway, continue the Charleston unless you have one really strong hand and you can't, or you're not, or what you're going to pass is not, let's just say I had a flower to pass and a 1 and a 2. I might stop it for that reason. Or if I ended up with a pair and I had to stop it because I had one great hand, I would stop it. So make sure if you stop it, one really incredibly strong hand. So I'm going to continue and I'm going to break up those 2s, which I was holding out some hope for in the beginning. Oh, well. Too bad you guys can't hear it because it's loud in my my headset. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass. Oh, I got a 6. Look at that. All right, so now I'm going to pass the other 2. Not my preference of what to do because it could end up in somebody's hand, hand. But I'm going to hold the 6 because I may get that other 6 back. So there's 2 6s floating out there. So we'll see what happens. Okay, now I got those 1s back. Nobody wanted those 1s, so I was all, worried about Wes. Now that 7 bam, I believe it came back in and I sent it out again. So there you go. 7, 8, 9. If I want to maximize my ability to make more things, I can hold the 6 dot, 6 dot, 7 crack, 8 bam, mixed suit run, 3rd line down, 7, 8, 9, also mixed suit run, potentially 6, 7, 8. Maybe I'll get that 6 back. Let's see what happens. No, but I got the 9 back. I got a 9, but maybe I'll do 2 instead of keeping a ton of things. Let's see if I had Okay. Francie, you said it has 2 flowers. Which hand? When you do put something, oh, 2, 4, 6, 8 line, yeah, line, the second from the bottom does have 2 flowers. You're absolutely right. That does have 2 flowers. Yeah. And that's a Kong of 2s, a Kong of 8s, and those would have had to be dots. So yeah, that is definitely a hand, but 2, 4, 6, 8, I don't think was in the picture here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the 2 and 9 just to see if I get that 6 back. I should be able to keep track of that all, but no, it didn't. And I got a 2 dot back in a red. Okay, well, all right, now we're going to prioritize our discarding. And the way you do that is if you're east to start, you're going to consider what you're going to get rid of first, which for me, it would be the 2 dots since I broke up a pair and passed one out there. So it could be sitting in someone else's hand. Maybe they need it. I'll get it out to make it a little bit more difficult for them. And then after that, I definitely keep track of the freshest tiles to get out, because the earlier you get out tiles that are not on the board, the harder it is you're making for others to form their hands. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 dot first. And we are currently in the begin game. Bottom right-hand side, it says 98 tiles, 99 after the deal. Break it up into thirds to make it easier for you to know how quickly you can move through the game. The begin game, which is the first 33 tiles, you could go through quickly. Unless it's a tile that gets discarded that you got to think about for a sec or 2 or 3 or 4, you just ignore and just go through, pick and discard, pick and discard. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore this. And of course, I do see one of my favorite hands, 6 crack, 7 crack, 8 dot with 8 crack rather, and that would have been with 9s, but I'm not going there. So I could think of a lot of hands. Like, how many can we keep track of? That should be the challenge. 2 flowers early on. Okay, I got a 7 crack. That's really nice. And I'm going to go ahead and discard the red. If I didn't have flowers, I might consider keeping it for that run with the matching suits, but there's a 9 up there already, so I guess, nah, we're going to do that. And so hopefully you're just looking at the table and keeping an eye on what's going out. And again, I can go quickly. I'm not playing 4s. I don't have to worry. Now that's why you want to get tiles out early. So that's the fresh tile working to your advantage. And you're going to be like, why is that to my advantage? Somebody just called it. Well, if you have somebody exposed early, because who knows if he's set up for any other part of his hand, you now have a little bit more knowledge about what he's doing, what he's playing with, not completely yet, but you might have forced him to call it now because it's a Kong, and he's thinking, well, I don't have to use a joker, I might as well call it. So it's an early call for Wes. But if you held the 4 because you were afraid it's not out there and you keep holding it, then you're more liable to give somebody Mah Jongg later on. So I'll keep talking about that as we go through the game. We have another call here with a Pung of 3 BAMs. That's a Kong of 4 BAMs. Try to get familiar with the terminology that's all over the card and name these things properly. Sometimes I get an email and it'll be like, the 333 in BAMs and the 4444, they type all this out, but Pung of 3 BAMs and Kong of 4 BAMs, that's the easiest way to refer to these groupings here. All right, so now we have 2 pungs of 3s. So what could Joe be playing? Joe could be playing, let's see, consecutive run line number 6 with 1, 2, 3 cracks and a quint of flowers to start. That's the 6th hand down. Let's see what else. Let's see. Okay, it could be the 2nd hand under 3, 6, 9. Flower, a pair of flowers, a single, a pair, and a 9 and a pung, and those would be cracks to start with 3s, 2 pungs of 3s. And those could be 3, 6s, or 9s. You always have to read what's in parentheses so you don't limit your ability. He can also be playing line 4 with the matching dragon under 3, 6, 9. So we've got 3 possibilities right there. And there's a 6 crack that I was considering or hoping I would have gotten, but I didn't get it. So now, since the 6 crack, 1's out already, I'm going to get rid of the 6 bam. Let me just see. I'm still keeping, okay. And it looks like, I'm headed toward that mixed suit run right there. I mean, it really looks like it's coming in nicely. So we'll see what happens if I'll get 6 dots or 9 dots. We'll see what goes on here. Yeah. Wonder if Joe needed it. We don't know. Okay, so he may need this if he's playing that 4th hand down under 3, 6, 9. But that's a good reason for me to get that thing out right away, because maybe he couldn't call it. This is the 2nd 3 crack. So who knows if he's playing the 2nd line, that's making it a little more difficult too. Oh, there's my other 2 dot. All right, so now I have a flower, and there are 3 out. I have 3 right now. That's 5. I would love to hold it for a little bit to see if somebody else throws a flower again and Joe or Agatha or Wes call it. So actually, I like to keep it in case I had to switch over to like numbers for any reason, if I ended up getting a few more 8s. I don't know. So I think I'm going to dump the 6 crack right now. Just keep the flower for a little bit, because it's potentially that any like numbers hand could happen. Let's see. Aha, nobody's wanting those right now. Another 3 crack. Oh, wow. Look at that. Now that kind of may change my mind up a little bit. Let me see how challenging it would be to switch. I've got a gap here. If I were to play, I mean, I could consider the Joker as a tile, but I'm missing 8 dots. And I never saw them during the Charleston. Very good possibility somebody's playing with them. Ooh. Wow. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. 6th hand down in the consecutive run. I don't always look at that, but too late kind of for that. All right, let's see. I can pick the 6 or the 9 and still keep track of possibly like numbers right now. So I think I'm going to choose one of those. And I'll keep an eye on like numbers since I've got the Kong of Flowers. That's line number 1 of like numbers. That if I were to get 1 more 8 in, I would probably I would probably go that way. All right, 6 or 9? 6 or 9. I think I remember Philippe saying that 9 statistically come in more often. Oh, Agnes said can't be playing the quint consecutive hand, needs to be 1, 2, 3 and pungs of 4s. 1, 2, 3. What? Quint. Oh, that one. Yeah. No, I was talking about me playing it. I like that hand. So I had the 6 originally, 6, 7, 8, 9 dot. Yeah, never mind. I shouldn't have even done it. So I think I'm going to get rid of the 6 and keep the 9, keep the 8, because if I get one more 8 dot, I only need one more good pick for that any like numbers hand. Not bad. So I'm going to keep the 9 dot for 7, 8, 9. Keep an eye on the 8 cracks, the 8s rather, for any like numbers. All right, that's it. That's my answer. Oh, there's one 8 dot. That may not be. And oh, there's an 8 dot. Oh my goodness gracious, look at that. And one went out. So I would use I would wait for one more. There's 2 more 8 dots for the pung. I'd have to use this for one of these 2 for the Kong, because this one, the 8 dot I would need to cover. So let's see, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. And I need one more good pick to be able to call one more good pick to be able to call the 8, because I could call either the 8 crack or the 8 BM for a Kong and the other one for the pung. So that was 4, 8, 10 that way. The any like numbers, I have 7, 8, and 9. And these have to go down here. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. One more the other way. One more the other way. That I didn't really think I was going to be switching to like numbers, to be honest with you. But I have to rely on that 8 to be my Kong. I mean my pung. My pung. Okay, everybody following me there? Oh, no problem, Agnes. I know. I'm like, I don't know why I'm like hung up on that hand. I just like it so much and I see it all the time. Okay, so look at, what I'm dealing with is not such a bad situation, right? I'm going to get the 9 dot out, which is a fresh tile because it's not on the board already. That might be an indication that somebody else is playing 9s and maybe my chances of getting a Kong to them is going to be slimmer. And I'm left with 7 cracks here that I'm going to be able to discard, which makes it nice. I like to set myself up with buffer tiles. They're like cushions. They're like my little, oh, there's somebody in the waiting room I didn't let in. That was not nice. They're my cushion tiles. So when you get out fresh tiles, you're always going to be left with cushion tiles. And cushion tiles can be something like this that you're now having to switch out and do something else. It could be a pair of something that you have now and 2 others went out on the table or something like that. But it's not a bad situation. I'm going to go for this. So now we are at 70 tiles. We're almost into 4 more tiles will be into the middle game. I'm now picking a hand. and hoping that that hand comes in. Pretty nicely formed. I'm happy with it right now, so let's see what happens. Now, remember when I got that soap out earlier and I said, it's a fresh tile, we need to get it out? Joe probably wasn't in a position at that point to call it. So it's a good thing to get those out early. He did finally get set up. But if you kept discarding them, if I were to get another one and he couldn't call it, that's making his hand a little harder. So anyway, the joker's not available, so boo-hoo. Okay, now I'm going to get the 4 out, which is very fresh. Wes could be playing any like numbers. We don't know what's going on. And Joe is playing 4th hand down under 369. So greens are what he needs. 1 green went out early. And I'll go ahead. And that was the one that I passed and I think got back at the end. Okay. Not a lot of wins have gone out. This is a good likely call for Wes or Agata. Yep, there you go. You could start predicting a lot of stuff in this game. Now, I do hope I get a joker to do a joker exchange. That would be lovely. All right, 4 dot again. And I'm just going to hold those 7s as long as I can. They're the safest tiles that I've got in my hand. My buffer tiles, I should say. Okay, so there's an 8 crack. Now, I need to be able to call one of these 2 for a Kong. What are the chances that either of those are being played? I don't think Wes needs them. I couldn't guarantee Agata doesn't need them, but I am going to call it. It gets me 1 tile closer. Then I can call the 8 bam, and I do need another joker. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. We're at 59 tiles. We're in the middle game. I'm going to call this for a Kong because the other 8 dot went out, making that one weaker to hold for the Kong. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So I'm going to call Kong, and now I'm going to discard my 7 crack. And now I need a joker. That's all. I need a joker to be set to call everything. So let's hope that I get it. Oh, that's a safe tile though. See, Joe's got 3 up. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now there was a 6 p.m. out early. Regardless if I want to win the game, I've got to get it out. Well, they didn't let me have any option there, did they? No. Okay, there's a couple of those out already. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now it's a matter of who's going to beat who out here. If I don't win, I'm very happy with the outcome here. So oh, 7 dot, 2 out. Okay. Ah, now we know what she's doing, my little friend Agata. I was joking around. I don't know if it was last Wednesday or Sunday night, but no, she used to be my good friend, and now I've taken her off my friend list. No, she's too tough a competitor. No, she's really cute. Okay, so ignore. All right, so the one BAMs, I know, let's see. I thought they were out already, but I don't, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Wes, one BAM. No, because there's plenty of two BAMs. I don't know, but I want to win, so I'm going to get it out anyway. Oh, gee, look at this. I have Joe's potential Mahjong tile with a wall left. 33 tiles is not a wall, but it's the end game, the last third of the game. Phyllis, would you take a chance with all these tiles left? Phyllis said no. You're going to break it up, or you don't know what you would do. You don't know. Yeah, I mean, break up my hand. Now, one of the things is I'll take a look at is how many jokers. Joe has one showing. Agatha has two. I have one. That's four. So there are four others. What are the chances Joe has those and can call that green for Mahjong? Okay, so when you're at this situation, you can ask yourself a couple of questions to help you answer whether or not you should go for it. Do you want to win? Yes, you do. Can you win? I have 33 tiles left. That's a lot of picks left. Yes, I can win. So far, but yes, I want to win. Yes, I can win. Right? Those are the two questions that I have. If they're both yes, then there's no harm in taking a chance. It's only a game. Only a game. Otherwise, I just break my whole hand up and just start playing defensively, which if I had a real crappy hand, I would do. Now, I can also, at this point of the game, because it's no longer early, I can get rid of the 7 crack, hold the green, see if somebody else is gutsy enough to throw the green. But if I hold it, the longer I hold it, Joe may pick another joker on the next round. So really, my best bet is to get rid of it now if I want to take a chance. So, Holly just said, Holly, I think that's your first name. I know it says Holly Book, but if you guys don't change your name in Zoom, my memory is not great. But you can easily click on the 3 dots next to your name there and change it. I know Agnes does it all the time because I forget what hers comes in, iPad. So I'd be calling her iPad. But anyway, good question. Okay, so Holly Book, that is your full first name. If that's the case, that's very pretty. Would I put out the 7 crack is what I just went over. I think that if I want to win, it's now or never. It's now or never. How many of you would break your hand up right now? I've got several very high level players watching from YouTube. And I have several high level players watching from Zoom, but they won't commit to me to tell me. So I would say, go ahead and vote right now. I'm watching. I got one discard the green so far. What else? I'm watching. I'm watching in Zoom. I'm watching the chat. I need a couple of more. Green. Yep. Carol says get rid of the green. That's what I'm feeling right now. Even if I lose, I think it would be a very, Linda, excellent player watching from YouTube, says to discard the green. Bunny says go for it. Kimmy says don't throw it. Oh, Kimmy, how long have you been playing, by the way? I'd like to know that. That would help me too with your answer there. But yeah, so the risk takers. Oh, everybody has said green except for one. So golly, Kimmy, you're voted out here. Sorry. All right, everybody, 3, 2, 1. Joe couldn't call the green. All of that fret. And now I am going to call that for a pun. And now I am set for Maj. Well, I was close. All righty. So Agata picked that on her own. She got 35 points. So it's like tournament scoring here, by the way. 25 points on the card, 10 because she picked it on her own. And she was playing the third hand down under Winds and Dragons with the 4s and 5s. So good job. Now you end up with this kind of a situation. You did a good job. Don't fret because you didn't win. This has nothing. Oh, Phyllis says, my friends would be very mad if I threw it. Well, with 33 tiles left, they shouldn't be mad because you have the right to do it. Now, if you're playing where you pay for the table with 3 exposures, I may change my decision, but I don't think so. I think no matter what, I would have thrown that green. Okay. Anyway, let's see what Joe was doing. 3, 6, 9, line 4, we knew that. Consecutive run line 7 for West with the cracks and the bams. 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, pung, kong, kong. And look who had my 8 dot. How nice. Let's see what else. Oh my goodness. The 8 dot is way down here and there's no more jokers in the wall. Oh my goodness. Wonder what would have happened. Would Wes have taken a chance with that 8 dot if he got another tile in? Don't know, but it's fun. It's certainly just fun thinking about it. All right, sorting by suits, starting out with I'm gonna put my Winds and Dragons down here, which I usually do. I have a pair of 5s. Well, what goes with 5s? On the left side of the card, it would be like numbers. I don't have any other 5s. Addition hands, 2 plus 5 equals 7. Blah, not really looking good. Consecutive run, 4 bam, 5 bam. And then I would want to keep anything else in that run family. So 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 even could work out there. So I keep the 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll keep a run of the 5 numbers if I have a potential of that line 1 in one suit. But I always want to keep multiple things going on. Now, what about 1, 3, 5, 7, 9? Not a whole lot. I do have some 3, 6, 9. And let's see about 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I were to get a 4 crack, I know that's a quint of flowers for consecutive run, but I love that hand. I could keep track of it. 2, 3, 4 crack, 5 bam, 5 dot. And oh, Phyllis said 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Debbie said 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, so that's nice right there. If I'm keeping that end, I might as well keep the 2 dot. And maybe I'll play around with the north and see if I get any more wins to do something with a 5-6 here. Could be. No, now that is a beautiful pass because that is a hand. Any like numbers line 2. That's a hand. I would hate to do that. Maybe I won't keep that. So I think I'll do this and this, and either one of these would be good. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'll do this one. Thank you, honey. 3, 6. Right now I don't want, well, no, I do want that. No, I don't. I don't need that. I don't need that. I was going to think about potentially 3, 6, 9, but that doesn't include my 5s. If I keep the 7, maybe something will come in 5, 7, 7, 9. I'd like to keep, maybe I'll keep this and get rid of this. Keep the 5, 7, 9 option open because I've got some 5, 7, 9 going on here. All right, maybe I'll do that. Oh, Carol also said 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you saw those early. All right, here we go. All right, so I got the 9. Let's see. 5, 7, 7, 9. All right, we'll get rid of this and we'll get rid of this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 5, 7. 5, 7, 7, 9. Was that a red I got rid of? I wished I hadn't. I'm going to get rid of that. Who knows? Oh, I got it back. Okay. So just when I think something's going to happen, look what happened here. 5 bam and 7 bam. 7 dot, 9 dot with the opposite dragon. Second hand from the bottom on the right side under 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And I have to continue the Charleston. So, you know, I can always switch out to pung kong with 5 bam, 7 bam, 7 dot, 9 dot, which is the second line under 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, if the one with the that needs a pair of 7s doesn't work out. So I am going to continue. I'm going to do this. And I'll do this. And these are tiles I haven't gotten out at all. So I hate to do it, but okay, nothing here helps me. And that's a pretty pass, of course, but 5, 7, 7, 9. Let's see. Nah. 5, 7, 9 with the dragons. It could, but I don't think so. I'm not feeling that 5 dot right now. So I'm just going to get, maybe I'll keep the 8 as a backup and I'll do the 2. I hate to get really fresh tiles out at the end of the Charleston, but I want to maximize what I could potentially get in right now. So I am going to, look at 5 through 9 though. Oh, look at that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a nice backup too. Oh my goodness. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got all of that. I think I'm going to keep that too. I mean, the 6 and 8 definitely need to be pairs, but I think I'm going to keep it. I just changed my mind like 360, didn't I? Okay, 2 tiles here. Oh, and I got an 8. Look at that. So I don't have to make a decision and freak out right now until I run out of my discards, which right now is a 3 crack, and hoping something else comes in to give me some clarity. I mean, 5 through 9 just got a whole lot better. So I am not going to commit, and I don't need the 5 anyway, because that would be a pair for that second from the bottom, but it would be needed for the pung-kong. But my hand is not strong enough to commit and call that right now and lock myself into one thing. So it is ignore for me. Okay, I'm not going to keep that. And I guess any of these can go out quickly. Okay, I don't need that. All right, a joker. Again, I don't have to make a decision yet until I get in the next tile to hopefully lead me in the right direction. Now, if I were to do the second from the bottom, that's a pair, so I can't call that. If I do the pung-kong, you know, I need to use a joker here. I still would be weak here and weak here. Not a position that I want to be in to call. This is too early for me. I know you guys, some of you don't think that way and you lock yourself right in early, but that's not how I do it. So just a little trouble here. Let's see. Oh, Francie wanted me to explain on that like numbers. I'm going to do that. Please remind me, Francie, right after we're done, to explain why I used the joker for that 8 crack instead of calling for a pung. Look at that. Okay, so I said I wanted something to come in to give me a sign of which way I was going to go, right? And now it's decision time. With the ability to hold the 5s and 7s, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, and still be able to get rid of my red. I still can keep track of 2 hands. But right now, I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 10 with the jokers, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for that other hand. So it looks like I'm going in the direction of the 5 through 9. I can call the 9 dot. I can call the 5 dot. I hate to do it, but I could call the 7 dot with those jokers, and everybody will grab them but me. Maybe not, maybe not. The 6 dot is my one troubling thing right now. So I'm going to get rid of the red. That's line 1, consecutive run, right side. Now I just going to get rid of everything that comes in immediately. 1 dot was called. That's why we get things out early. We want them to call. And 7s and 9s, but I wanted to hold that for a little bit. Okay. So I'm not going to commit to that other hand at this point. 1, 2, 3, and use up the joker. My 7 dot is weak. So I'm going to really hope that I get that 6 dot or get set to call. Let's pray. Let's do a Mahjong prayer. Okay, so I'm going to call that for a pung. And you notice I did the 7 and I kept the 5s. They're a pair. I know there's 1 5 out early, but if somebody's using the 5s because they couldn't call it early on, maybe they'll put it up with the joker and I'll get to, when I discard 1, then I'll be able to do the joker exchange with the other. So I'll get rid of that. We're at 65 tiles. We're just into the middle game. 33, 33, 33. All right, I don't need that. I'm not going to play around with the flower right now, but I bet somebody will call it and put up a joker, and then I'll be sorry that I didn't hold it. Ah, I told you. Oh, one of my 6 dots. Oh, geez. This game is unpredictable. All right, so Wes has a Kong of flowers with 2s. So any like numbers, line 1, or what else? I don't think there's anything else. Nope. Any like numbers with 2s. If I'm missing something, put it in chat. Ah, we got a Kong of 8s there. Oh, my second 6 dot. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Okay, so I'll call, and that's going to be put. I got to put just like Joe did here. Joe's got 6 BAMs and 8 BAMs, so he's playing 6, 7, 8, third line down, consecutive run on the left side. But I'm going to call that. It gets me 1 tile closer for a Kong. So nerve-wracking. Darn, darn, darn. It is look at that. All right. Now you could throw my 6 dot. All right, so now I'm set to Maj on the 6 dot. Everybody's playing very well. It could be anybody's game. Okay. Another hand set for Maj, and someone beat me out. Okay, so Wes was playing the 2024 section line 2. Joe was playing line 1 of 2468, coming in fairly nicely, and consecutive run line 7 for Agata. And oh, I forgot to put this down again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, not very well set, but coming in sort of nice. So, all right. Let me circle back to Francie, and we were playing any like numbers line 1. And sometimes this stuff really does take a lot of brain power to work it out. So one of my 8, I had 1 8 dot. No, before I could pick the 8 dot, 1 8 dot went out on the table. And I already had a pair of 8 BAMs and 8 cracks. Then I picked in an 8 dot, but I knew that if that 8 dot were going to be in the Kong position of that hand, that I would need to have 1 joker to be able to make that Kong. So instead of using it for that, I utilized the other tiles, the others. So instead, you know, I knew that I had to use the 8 dot for the pug because there were still 3 in the wall, and take that joker and use it in one of the 7 other 7s. I mean, other 8s, sorry. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. I know it's kind of confusing, but it's which of the groupings are you weakest in, and how many jokers do you need to cover it? And if you do, then you need to consider being able to switch that joker into something else that you have more tiles, and then use the 8 for the pung. I hope it makes sense. Again, some of these are a little advanced, you know, to think about. And once you're playing really comfortably, these things just start coming to you, and you get these concepts. All right, let's start again. Oh, well, I don't have any multiples in my suit tiles, but I have multiples, multiple east. So I'm going to leave them right there where they belong. And I'm going to maybe consider something. I have no jokers, you know, maybe I can keep track of the big hand, although I only need 1 east, but maybe I could keep track of the big hand or the bottom concealed hand under 2024. I know I don't have any soaps at this point, but it's early. The game is young. Don't know if I'll be using the red at this point, but I do know there is a wind hand that has the 2 dragons in news. I don't know. Maybe I'll play around with it. I don't have any, you know, I could do 2, 4, 6, 8 too. The singles and pairs 2, 4, 6, 8 as well. I could try that, but I don't know. I think I'll do this and instead. And we'll do this, and this. Let's see if I get anything in that works out. I might have to switch out things, but we'll see. I got another north. Oh, come on, move it over. And I definitely need more winds, but I'm going to kind of go for something in the winds. Or whoops, do I need this here? I might need it. If I switch, no, I won't need it. No, I probably won't, but what I don't want to do is get stuck having to pass a pair. So at this point, I think I'm not gonna. I do have a blind pass right now. What are the chances I'm gonna get in 3 tiles? Probably not. If I get in 2, then I could break one of these. No, I don't want to take a chance. I'm gonna get rid of it. Although the bottom concealed winds and dragons hands, I'm also looking at. All right, let's see what happens if I get in a bad situation. Let's see. I'll go ahead and get rid of the 6. Let's see what happens. All right, so I didn't get in any bad situation. So I'm going to continue. But I could still on the across. So I got in a west. This would be a very pretty pass. Let me see. All right, so for the bottom concealed 2024, I need a 2 dot and I need a soap. Of course, that would be lovely if I would get that. And I need this if I wanted to go for the big hand. So I need to 2024, 2024. I need to do the 4. We're going to play. What the heck? I have no jokers. It can't hurt. And I got another north, which is not needed here, but who knows? Maybe I'll be in the Winds and Dragons section. You never know. All right, so now we're going to be passing on the last right. I'll do 2 on this pass instead of giving 2 dragons together. There is that bottom, the second from the bottom, Winds and Dragons, but I'm not going to go for that. So I'm going to do 3 here. Maybe I'll get a tile in that I need. Maybe I'll get a new tile. Oh, I got a 2, which gives me the option of 2024 as well, bottom singles and pairs stand. If I were to get some lucky tiles in, I don't know, we'll see. We can have fun with it, right? Okay, so I typically do like to get leftover tiles that were circulating around the Charleston out first. Does it make a huge difference? No. Don't worry too much about it, but it's kind of, again, one of the little more advanced concepts. So, oh, we have an early caller and a joker up for exchange, which I could use for the bottom concealed 2024 hand. Well, I got one now. Another one. I really only need a soap or a 2 dot to feel really good about that bottom concealed hand. Oh, stop throwing out my wins right now. Let's see, east and west, north and south. Boy, I mean, I could play north, east. I could either play the left or the right side of Winds and Dragons line 1 if I wanted to totally bail right now. But I don't want to bail right now. I want to hang in there and see if I could pull it off. I don't know. I mean, I could, but it's early, so I'm just going to ignore it right now. Aha. We have a 3 dot pung up there. All right, just that's what's supposed to happen when you get them out early. They can either call them or they can't. And either way, you got to get them out. So 3 dot and 5 bam for West could be 2 3 dot 4 5 dot. So pung pung kwong kwong, second from the bottom left side, or 3 dot 4 dot 5 dot 6 dot, same hand, second from the left side. Both of them would be the same suit. What else could he be doing? He could be playing line 3 under 13579. And I think that's it. If I'm missing it, let me know. Oh, I have some. Okay, so ignore. Oh, everybody said, well, a few people said 2024 line 2. Yeah, line 2. Flowers. The 24 is there, but I mean, I have some, I don't know when you said those, but well, these winds came in, so ignore. I'm going for the hard one tonight. Oh, look at that. Okay. I mean, I do have a south to worry about, but you know, I need that 2 dot. So if Wes is playing with my 2 dots, that's going to make it a little challenging for me, right? But I got to go for it. So I'm hoping that he doesn't. Oh, Carol said last game, 2024, line 2. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm happy I picked that one instead of holding on to it and giving her Mah Jongg later. So here goes a 2 crack. Too bad. I was hoping that Agatha would have called it and put it up with the joker. Yeah. I'm going to stick to that bottom hand. Let's put it in order, by the way. Look at that. I mean, it's really pretty. I can't call this because it's concealed. By the way, I gave up on the singles and pairs because of the 2 jokers. So, all right. So now we have 6, 7, 8, 9 for Joe. Second hand from the bottom. No jokers up there at all. Wow. He could be pure. Pung Kong. Wow. Beautiful. 2, 3. We don't know, but I'm going to get it out. Another south. Shoot. One more chance on that. So I'm sweating again here. 1 dot. We'll switch out if we have to. So I'm going to get that 2 out. 6, 7, 8, 9 could be no. Okay. Oh, I don't need that unless we have to switch out. So I'm going to hold that. Oh, I don't want that in my way. Nine dots. Oh my God. I didn't give it to Wes. Wes did that third line down, 1, 3, 5, which was one of the ones we knew he was doing with 3 jokers for the soaps. And somebody did ask the Mahjong teacher just, I think it was today, if you can use all jokers for one of your groupings. And yes, you can. And they also said, well, what if someone else were playing soaps and had jokers used, even though there's only 4, can you use, you know, that many soaps when there aren't that many in the game? But the answer is yes. And look at Agatha. Line 1, 2024 for her. Yes. Okay. Wow. She had soaps too. I didn't need any more. I had the one that I needed, but she had the 2 dots. So I would have had to switch out anyway, and probably wouldn't have even known that I had to switch out unless that other south went out. Let's look and see where that other south is. Right there, way down there. Jeez. Wow. Okay, so here's the deal again. I had this much toward my hand, 1 tile away from being set for Mahjong. Not a bad way to have your hand come in. Again, it wasn't my lucky night. Somebody beat me out for sure, but you know, I mean, I'm going to play again. It's only 8:03. If you guys are hang around, I'm going to play more, but you know, it's just somebody else has beat me to it. So if my south went out, then I would have switched out to that top hand. north, northeast, west, south. I mean, still could have happened. So, and I had this one too. So I still would be further away, but not bad. If I had to do a switcheroony, not bad at all. All right, let's start again. All right, yeah, I get it about last game for West for 2024. I'm a little delayed here. All right, let's start again. Oh, do I have any multiples? Zero, zero, and no jokers. So we'll just try something fun again. Why not? Let's see. Let me move these down for a sec. I'll play with a couple of things. 7, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 without the flower. Fourth line down under consecutive run, potentially. Maybe 5 through 9. I see a lot of 3, 6, 9 there too. 3s, 9, a lot of 3, 6, and 9s popping out at me. So I'll keep all of those. I'll get rid of this. 3, 6, 9. So I'll get rid of this, and I guess I'll do that instead of the 2 4s. That doesn't matter. Let's see what happens here. So I got a 6. I'm just collecting stuff. So I do see a lot of 3 6s coming at me. So I definitely want to 3 6 9s. I like those. 5 6 7 8. I've got 5 6 7 8s in the runs as well. I'm going to do that. And let's see. Maybe keep. Do I want to keep the red? 9s and reds. Maybe. Let's see. 5 6 7 8. 5 6 7 8. Run 3 6 9 is looking kind of good. I think I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to give this up for right now. That's a nice pass right there. I got the green. I got the 3s and greens and 9s, and the 9s crack and reds and the 9 BMs in red, but I'm just so weak right now at everything. I could go for 3 6 9 singles and pairs if it happens, but I think I'm going to keep all of this here right now. 5 6 7 5 6 7 8 3 4. I got to continue. My hand is not formed enough, so I can't keep it all. I got another red. So I do have that 9s with reds and 9s with greens. It can be with 3s as well. And then I do have other potentials as far as like numbers with 9s or 3s, because I'm keeping all those. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Got another 1 there. And we got another 3. I will do 3 here. All right, so now look, another green. One of the beauties of knowing the card is to recognize that, I've got the 3 6 9, the line 4 going on with 9s or with 3s right here. But I also could keep track of line 2, any like numbers, which is really a definite possibility. I just need more tiles. I have 2 discards before I have to make a big decision whether or not, and who knows whether the 3 dot and 6 crack will even come into play. So I may have 4 discards. All right, so there's a 3. So the 3's just got a little stronger for that hand than the 9. So I just move them and replace what I was doing. I got lots to discard before I have to worry about making any firm decisions right now. And I'll get rid of the 4 just because it came around from the Charleston. Ignore, and that's a good reason to get that out. So I always like to get wins out early, even if I have a fresher tile in my hand. That is kind of an exception for me, because that fourth hand down, third hand down, you think somebody's not playing it, and then they call it later with a joker. It's like really little nutty. Aha, we've got East right there. And just get out tiles that I don't see out. You see, I can move kind of quickly right now. So 6 p.m. went out. Of course, it is in the numbers that I'm collecting in 369 right now. Again, they may not be something I use. I don't know at this point, but I don't want to dump those yet. Wow, we got a lot of activity. All right, a joker. All right, so now we know we could do line 2 of any like numbers. We know we can do the 4th line down for 369. What's my backup for that? I've got a 3, 6, 9, second from the bottom with opposite dragons right there. Right there. I also have 3, 6 bam and 6, 9 crack. Pretty weak. But the 3 dot I need if I were to switch to any like numbers. So what's more important here? Let's see. We're going to keep the 3 cracks and the reds. We're going to keep the 3 dot, which we will need for line 2, any like numbers. And I think I'm going to start dumping these babies here. I would choose the 9 first because I have the 3 bams and 6 bams, or maybe I'll keep the 9 for that second from the bottom hand. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. 3, 6, 9 with the reds, but that's a conga fly. I don't know. It's going to be hit or miss. Let's just go for it. All right, here we go. Now there's the red, and if I call the red for that hand right now, it is a Kong. I could call the 3 bam. I can't call the green. I need another cover to call the crack. So it's challenging, but let's look at the any like numbers. Any like numbers, what scares me about that is I don't have my 3 crack pair. So this is a little bit of a challenge because if I give up my only joker, I'm really putting myself into that one hand right now. One hand. The bottom hand, 3, 6, 9, is weak as well. Oh boy, I hate to ask you guys what you think, because I know you guys are going to say, call it, right? No, my hand's not formed enough. I would be blocking myself into one thing. Well, if I do the pung of reds, I could play any like numbers, line 2, or I can play second hand from the bottom, 3, 6, 9. But they're both risky, and then I can't pop out into anything else. So I kind of want to wait. The nice thing about waiting is if another red goes out and I am forced to put it up because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be a little closer, then that red is not available for Joker exchange. That's the only thing. So I think I'm going to hold off. Oh, I'm the holder offer girl. I mean, I could hold that. It's, who knows, maybe I'll pop into line 2 of Winds and Dragons. Ah, okay, there's my 3 BAM. Again, I'm in a situation, same exact thing. I would be locking myself into one hand right now. And I'm gonna, I have to ignore it. I know it's crazy, but I just can't. I can't yet. The next one, if it's further along, I'll be forced to do it. So I just need to get 1 or 2 more picks. Come on, give me a good pick. Oh, oh, no, no way. My favorite hand, second from the bottom, third from the bottom, consecutive run, quint of flowers, 1, 2, 3 singles, and the 2 pungs in the next number up. Oh my God. Wes is playing consecutive run line 6. Same hand. Oh, wow. Same exact hand with the quint of flowers. And then Wes was playing Winds and Dragons line 3, that popular, very popular hand this year. Coming in nicely too. Oh my God. All right. Well, we could do one more game because that one was a killer so quick. Let's see by the way, where my other tiles are. Oh, look there's the red way down there, 2 greens there, 2 more jokers, 3 more jokers. What happened? You never know. Oh, look at this. I've got a couple jokers to start. How pretty is that? I've got the north and south. I've also got 9s. And I could be looking at the bottom Winds and Dragons or the third hand down, and I would need an 8. Of course, that kind of limits me to just 8, 9, which is kind of, not the best scenario to be in. I've got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 going on here. All of these are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Let's see if there's anything that's really speaking to me with the flowers. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the same the 1 suit in the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 for right now and see what happens as far as 8, 9 or more 9s to play that. And if I get any more wins, I'll do this for now because I want to keep those wins right now. I could get rid of them and do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, but I got an east. So now I'm going to do this. We'll see how crazy it is when I get closer, but I'm looking for either 9s or 8s right now. Okay, 9s or 8s, like that, just like that. Exactly what I want. So I am going to continue now. This is going to be a challenge because I do have that flower and I do have like numbers going on right here. So the question becomes, what do I do? If I follow my rule, then and I have to continue or stop because I have two hands, not one. I have two hands going on here. Bottom concealed Winds and Dragons hand right here is beautiful. I can always recover another 9 since there are pungs, 2 pungs in any like numbers. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't want to pass that. This is going to be a challenge because if I get in one more tile, I might have to pass that flower. Let's see. Ah, I don't even have to worry about it. Do you believe it? Oh my God, I'm going to do 2. I don't even have to worry about it. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, so the west is the only thing that's really troubling. Because this can go here or here. And I am so very close to, if all the wests go out before I get it, I flip into like numbers, and that's the way it goes. And I've got my 9 crack, so I'm good as far as switching out. And I would not, well, I shouldn't say I won't, but if I put up a flower with 2 jokers, that is like a gift because those jokers are going to get sucked up right away. So I would not call that right now. Let's hope that I get that west. There's one west. Oh, there's one in the wall. That's it. So that's going to make a big change in my decision making here. Wow, we've got 7s, 1s, west, no jokers up. That, and now what do I do? Oh my goodness. This is the worst situation right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God. But there's only one west. That west could be all the way at the end. Oh my goodness. Help me, somebody. I got to take just a little breather here. Linda, Carol, Phyllis, Agnes, anybody else? Can you tell me what should I do? 9 tiles for line 1, any like numbers, or do I hang in there and hope I pick up a joker or another north or a south before that west goes out? What do I do? I mean, west has 3 of them. That is not good. Because if I do, 2 flowers went out. I can call the 9 for the Kong. I can call the 9 dot for the Pung. And I need one more good pick. And it's a big gamble. Okay, so here's what I could do. I can throw a south or a north. And if I end up getting the west in the meantime, then it would be more of a worth. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Carol said, drop the concealed hand and give up a north or south. Good. See, great minds think alike. And that's what I'm going to do, even though I have 9 toward one and 12 toward another. Here we go. All right, we've got jokers up, and we have 6, 7. So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, or that's it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Second line from the bottom on the left side. Okay. Yep. Looks like that's it. So ignore. All right, so now we have either 1-2 crack and 3-4 bam, which is that second from the last under consecutive run on the right side, or 1-3 crack, 3-5 bam, which is the second from the top under 1-3-5-7-9. And it looks like those are the two things they're playing. Oh, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is for Agatha. Okay. It's not my night tonight, is it? All right, well, I guess I'll take her east and forget about that hand altogether. Why not? So may I have your joker, Wes, please? And thank you. All right, so at least now I can call everything. Does that mean I'm going to mahjong with all these fierce players out there? Oh, no, but I'm going to sure try. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to call that for a Kong. So I can still play pretty quickly at this point because I still want to win. So I'm not like worried, oh, you know, who's going to call? And if they do, they do. But 68 tiles, we're just getting into the middle game right now. And there we go. She got her own, oh no, Agatha gave it to her and lost 20 points, 5-6. Okay. Well, having to switch out from that concealed hand, not the best scenario, but here we go. The hand was coming in very nicely. I was in a situation to call everything. I'm okay with it. I wish I mahjonged. It's nice to win, but I can't win every single game. That was fun. And okay, I enjoyed tonight. That was a fun evening. I didn't get real lucky, did I? But the hands came in nice, at least, right? All righty. And Bunny, thank you. Bunny said, thank you. Love your channel. You're so helpful. Thank you so much. And thank you, Carol. I appreciate that as well. I always appreciate your help. And that was a lot of fun. We got a big crowd watching on YouTube tonight. And I know several people left after that last game on Zoom. So thanks for hanging in there with me, you guys. I'll see you again. Come join on Sunday night if you're interested in Siamese Sundays. It's a lot of fun. Talk to you soon. And until we meet again, be well. Practice, practice, practice. Bye.